Hello everyone, I'm Kibitz and welcome to our perfect city of New Walker. We're making a beautiful, walkable city for our citizens. And last time, we did all of this. We moved all of our industrial space from over here to this zone here, and it's running perfectly. Then we made a cool little tourism area with an aquarium and hotels. And finally, a new residential zone just on the coast here. And in doing all of this stuff last time, we have freed up all of this space, which opens up this entire zone for development, which is our big plan today. And oh man, are things gonna get crazy. This is a giant hill here, right? So what I wanna do is make a crazy terraced zone for residential, commercial, and then maybe at the top of the hill, we could do some kind of special project, quote unquote. So we'll bring the mountain all the way out to here to start things off, and then we'll add layers to it. So the top of the mountain will be saved for a special project. Then as we kind of get closer and closer to the coast, we'll add in a commercial zone, and then finally, a low density kind of beach zone or something like that. Then we can build on these walkable quay walls, so people can walk between the layers, or at least look over the edge. And then so people can get up through all these districts, we're gonna have a bunch of cable car systems. So we'll have the cable cars just running up to here, and then eventually to the top of the hill. So yeah, we're gonna have cable cars, houses, cool project up top, and terraces for days. And since we got the concept down, it's just painstakingly going through all of this, making sure all of the lines are straight and we have proper flat surfaces. And it's looking amazing. Once this is all filled in, it's gonna be an incredible addition to our city. Plus, look at the size of this project. It's like, man, 30% of our entire city is being built right now? It's nuts. But yeah, with all of these terraces now in, the plan can definitely be seen a lot easier. This area is cleaned up too, and we'll somehow manage to attach all of it to over here. We'll see how that goes. We have highway connections, we have a big main road, we have trams we want to bring in, and it's gonna be like the whole 9 yards. I suppose with a giant district like this, the first and most important thing is getting the main artery roads in. So we have this one that goes all the way down the coast already, but also connects up to the main road that goes through like the core of our city down that way. So long story short, it's gonna be busy. So let's try and make a lot of room for it. Okay, this is where things get weird. I love building with terraces, right? But then the road work is always interesting. Interesting isn't the right word. Annoying is a better word. So what, we could just do something like that? And then straight that way? I guess we could. We can get rid of the tree there, that's no problem. Lower this down, but then it looks weird. We'll revisit that. But no, I think that's a good place for our main road. I suppose all of this could be residential, this could be commercial, and then this could all be the special project stuff. That's kind of cool. And then at the end of the day, the main road will end up all the way down here, connect up with all the residential stuff, connect up with special project stuff, and oh, hey look, a highway! So somehow we'll connect to this 2-lane highway. Yeah, we'll figure that out later. Right now, this is bugging me way too much. We can't like move forward with this like this. I'm doing it, I don't care. It's gone, it's gone, it's gone. This key stuff took forever, so I'm a little spooked to delete it, but it has to be. We're going to have a slope instead. How do I use this? There we go. Yeah, that'll look better. It actually makes sense. So I'll go like that. Oh, dude, that's the way. I'll clean this up somehow. And all right, main road's kind of in. Still needs a lot of work. Let's figure out the rest of the roads here. Just so everything looks symmetrical and nice. That run parallel to the main road and kind of the angle of the terrain. And from the main road we now have built, go down this way, over to here, connect up to there, and zone however we see fit. And that's generally it. Down this way though, I don't want to have another slope. So maybe we start at the end and work our way back. We'll have a road going down here, follow the same pattern as up above, and then we end up all the way down here. And I'd love to connect these roads, but no, no. We're just gonna go all the way back over this way. Our main road over here can continue down and just meet it where it's at. Yeah, let's just do that. It really segregates this area from the rest of the community, but again, we'll have all those cable cars running up and down, so I guess people will have to take transit. And at the end of the day, if people want to use their cars, well, the roads are available. With that generally figured out, what are we gonna do here? This used to be our industrial space, right? So it is super well connected to all the roads and highways of our entire city. Plus, we got the tram here we can bring in. Yeah, we got a lot going on. I suppose first thing is we have to figure out what we're doing with these roads. So at least for this highway, we will bring it down, and then against my better judgment, we will just straight up drive it into the main road system there. Probably will be a traffic nightmare, but we will adjust as needed. And this road can just do whatever. This one will go straight for a bit. And we're just gonna have to do the same thing again, where it's just gonna go straight into the road network. Like no roundabout, no further planning. Like that's it. No, that can't be it. What am I talking about? This is gonna be a disaster. We need some one-way roads. Let's switch this up. And also, I don't even know what I'm doing with this area. We figured out what we wanna do with the terraces. But this square is, well, it can be anything. So I think we're gonna do this. We're going to turn it into a beautiful green city area like we did with our last industrial area. So this used to be our old industry area that we then moved down to here, and then we moved the industry over to there. So it's kind of funny to just throw in a bunch of green city stuff on top of the old industrial space. And with that in mind, we don't need to get too crazy with all of the road stuff. And we can just block it off as per normal, and then have it try to logically make a bit of sense. Like having a roundabout in between all these major roads, not having a lot of other roads attached to the major roads, just so there's a lot of throughput. And then with the rest of the area, I went ahead and actually threw in all the rest of the roads too, and lined them up specifically so that they're all perfectly aligned and the patterns work out great. Oh, and then don't bully me, but then I made this ridiculous highway interchange. Look, it's fine. It's probably not fine. If it becomes a problem, I'll change it. But for now, our basic road layout is done. And now with the basics, we can bring in the public transit. And we'll start with the trams first. So this is kind of our outer city connection. And then where do we want to go? Well, first we go straight ahead over the busy city arteries. And then I wanted to build this tram alongside the quay here, but like I say with the terraces, things get a little weird. So we'll have the tram go down this way, away from this crazy intersection that I should probably fix, and then down through here. Oh, and then this is perfect. This brings the tram into the entire rest of the area. Because once we follow the road all the way down, we get back to this big 2-lane here, right? And then we can just make it a giant tram road. And that will let us connect up the tram network to the rest of these terraces without making it look super weird. Well, that's until I had a crazy idea, and I'm gonna choose to make it look super weird anyway. I was going to loop the tram road back down this way, right? But then, I don't know, I feel like that's gonna be too busy, too loud. So we're gonna switch that idea up, and we're just gonna throw the extra tram road here, an extra tram road at the end, please. And now we can just have the tram kind of circle back and only use this one road and leave the other road for like trees or bike lanes or just at least being more chill. So great, that's like the hard part done. We have all the trams in this zone and we can zone in all of the cable cars wherever we want now. Next, I have the trams going down to this road, and we can kind of loop them all the way back into what will be this new city center. And we'll just keep the trams off the road as much as possible, because this area is gonna be trafficked out the wazoo. So this tram instead will kind of follow its own little journey path off the main roads and then into the city core. And then everything's gonna work out perfectly, because once we're at this point, I've painstakingly aligned all the roads so it would look aesthetically pleasing, but also so that when it came to points like this, we could just hook up all the roads across the way like that. So now the whole tram system is perfectly looped together and gonna help guide us on how we develop the rest of our transit stuff. So our monorail specifically I want in here. Not like all over the place, but I want like a main monorail stop. And we have our monorail ending here. So what? Bring it down this road? Up over that? That's gonna be rough. Where can we bring the monorail? Down this road? And then have a monorail in front of the New Walker Woods? I don't think so. What about down over here? Just highways everywhere. Man, you know, maybe that's not the play. Maybe for this part of the city, we just focus on metros instead. And oh yeah, thinking things a little bit more through, this is gonna work out perfectly. There are these new metro stops that are kind of like a T-junction. So we can have the metro connect up to the rest of the city this way. Then also connect this way to like the airport in this zone. And then we have the two other junctions on this end that can go down into this space, and this one can go up to this special project area. And if I plan everything right, we can make it work really, really well with the existing tram network too. Oh, like in these little end loops here. Yeah, like we could have the metro station at the bottom, then start to make it work with the cable car system we want to implement. And with that, we can see all of the ideas realized. And man, what a fun public transit system. Just going up this cable car, up through these hills. There's gonna be trees everywhere, houses, traffic. It's gonna be so much fun. And yeah, it's gonna work great too because I optimize things a little bit further. Like for one, since this beachfront area is gonna be a low density zone, I decided not to actually bring the tram through it. Instead, the tram stops here next to the metro and the cable car. And then this area will just be very, very, very calm. In fact, heck, I already know I'm gonna do this. May as well go for it. We're gonna switch up the beachfront to being a walking path. So the space can be enjoyed by people and not just vehicles. And speaking of people, and following the same logic of not bringing the tram down here, I didn't bring the cable car down to the beach either. Instead, it just goes between these couple terraces. And then at the top terrace, there's another metro line. And this metro line goes way back into the rest of the city system. In fact, why don't I just show you guys how it looks? So again, this goes into the main rest of the city. This way goes to like the airport and everything. And then these lines just end up over here, there, and way down in the boonies here. That's all the public transit we're gonna do here. And we're gonna switch it back to walkability and cycling. So we're definitely gonna have some cycling paths around this area. I'm not sure how I'll implement it yet, because first, I wanna get the walking paths in. Walking areas are the best, especially when you're by public transit, like over here. In fact, let's just make this whole loop walkable. So now if you live in any of the towers around here, there'll be walking paths all over the place to get you to the metro and the trams. And also, I want a bunch of pavement paths around too. All of these keys we built are actually new. They're from a relatively recent update, and citizens can actually walk on them. So you better believe we're gonna give people that ability. And hopefully pedestrians like it. But even if they don't, it's like, whatever, dude. I like the trees that are on the keys anyway. And then for bike infrastructure, I've made a major change. This center main road with all the traffic is also gonna support bike traffic too. Gotta share the road, sorry guys. As for the trams, I moved that to the side road in the back here instead. Yeah, this entire central area is gonna be busy, busy, busy. So we'll get all the people using their bikes or trams or what have you, moving through there, and then public transit will get people between the terraces. And that'll be pretty much all the bike infrastructure. We'll try to get some bike lanes kind of out and about too, but it's not going to be a hyper priority. We'll just add it where it can fit. But now that's it. All the infrastructure is built. Hooked up the tram network to our other tram network in the New Walker Woods, and we are ready to start throwing in services and getting this area online. So of course we're gonna need a couple fire stations. I'd say a couple, we're gonna need a lot. Definitely like a big one. Like centralized, like here. No. Here? Somewhere in the middle here. That's kind of the problem with this area too, is it's so separated that it's gonna be hard for emergency vehicles to get through the areas. Like say for example, a fire truck from here wants to put up a fire up here, they'd have to go skirt this way, all the way down this way, up this road, down here, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So it's really, 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 really inefficient for services. And we're just gonna have to put like a million service buildings all over the place. That's okay, because everything looks so cool. Right? Kinda. I don't know, what do you guys think? I think it looks pretty good. Ooh, hospitals too. Actually, with the hospital, we could play it a little bit more smart. Over down this way, in the main part of the city, we could have a hospital by the roundabout. And that has decent coverage of everything over here, except for this top terrace, where we're always gonna have to have something special for it. And a couple extra clinics here and there. And death care. Death care is super important. We'll put that by the clinic, just in case the doctors kind of make a whoopsies. Now for education, how's the education looking? Bad. High school, bad. University, turbo bad. Public libraries, we have 7 people using them. Yeah, let's not focus on that too much. No, we gotta get some schools in here. There's going to be lots of residents. Like hopefully we can get like 20,000 residents in this entire space. So they are going to need to be educated. Big schools. Big schools like this, kind of by public transit. Maybe over here by the walking path. I made this another walking path too, just alongside the quay wall. Kind of looked nice. And high school, again by public transit as well, because it's most convenient for everybody. But we'll also have to have a couple more supplemental schools. We want to have this area be a green city, so we'll definitely have a community school because it has the green roof. Parks. Always a good idea to have a large playground next to the elementary school. We can also have these small parks, kind of on these corners where we have the dead space in there. Plus having parks next to highway entrances is a really good idea. Not for safety, but mostly for traffic, because now we can't really zone around this too much. So then again, we're gonna be pretty mindful of the zoning around here and just zone away from the intersections. Do whatever we really can to keep traffic at bay. Oh gosh, same deal with over here. Oh, but wait, since we're close to the highway and all this, we'll definitely need a dumpster somewhere. So we'll put one there. This area is kind of a dump. Why don't we have another down here? And then whenever there is a street corner, it kind of always helps to have a park next to it. So we have all these walking paths all over, and we can just add parks next to those too. Specifically dog parks, so people can have their pets everywhere. And then by the busy public transit areas, we'll put down some plazas. And then what's the point of having all these parks and services everywhere if there aren't people to enjoy them? So zoning wise, gosh, just like as many people as possible. Throw them all in here. So most of this is high density residential, like way up here. And then as we go over this way, kind of toned it down a bit. Whereas initially I was gonna make a lot of this high density residential as well, but we're kind of getting to the edge of the map. And at some point we kind of need to tone down the city. Like I don't want it just to be like super dense ultra city and then suddenly just forest. Doesn't make sense. But at the end of the day, we'll just see how it looks. That's it. Let's let her rip, get started, watch the buildings come in, people complain, and oh, I wanted this all to be green buildings, but, I guess because we have the walking paths, they have to be the wall-to-wall type. Can we? No. I really want to have the walking paths in the center of the city here, so I guess we'll just have a couple green towers every so often. Oh man, people jumped at the new real estate opportunity. It is busy, busy, busy here. We have towers aplenty, managed to get a bunch of the green buildings in too, like I wanted, and I really like how this area's turned out, except for one critical problem. I don't know why, but industrial office demand has absolutely exploded, which is kind of weird. I've never really had that happen yet in this playthrough. And so what's ended up happening here is I try to zone in all of these residential buildings, but man, just people only want more and more offices. So the zone doesn't actually fill in properly. Because the zone doesn't fill in properly, I can't go around and do my precious detailing like how I usually do with all the other areas we finish up. So now somewhere in the city, I need a bunch of office buildings or industrial space. Maybe we could turn the top of this hill into an industrial space? Or maybe it's about time we actually finished up the downtown core. Well, that's something I'm gonna figure out next time, because I am done for now. So I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you for watching. But have a fantastic rest of your day, and bye-bye.